Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Denver Broncos behind their new signal caller, Case Keenum, take on Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Denver Broncos. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. Threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Out comes the Denver Bronco offense led by Case Keenum. And Keenum, as we get toward the end of the year here, what's your assessment of how he's done his first season in Denver?
Pretty much what I expected. A guy who's a terrific accessory, a guy that people rally around, but you need a great program around him. Great players out on the perimeter, guys who can run the football. And they're starting to get there on offense, but they expected the defense to carry them and give them a chance to get to the playoffs. And it kind of went down to the wire for them to battle for that shot. So I think it's been about what you would expect out of Case Keenum in Denver. And I do think that they're going to look to the future, keep adding pieces to it, and they'll have a chance going forward.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
To throw on second down is Keenum. And this is incomplete. A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Keenum. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. They'll fake the give. Now Keenum. Airing one out deep for Holmes here. That's caught inside the 20. A gain of 39 that time.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. Nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. A carry for the Northern California native, Devontae Booker. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Credit the tackle to Navarro Bowman.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up golden opportunity. Strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field. Right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out.
That almost felt like the defense said, he is not getting in. What a play.
No. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Now, this is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Oakland Raiders, Charles, it's another lost season for them. We said that a few weeks ago, and we've been talking about this, but double-digit losses this year for the 12th time in 16 seasons, and that is so hard to fathom.
It really is, and I know everyone's going to say that just about every position will have an open competition, and they are accurate in saying that. The best signal, when you trade away your best defensive player, Khalil Mack, to the Chicago Bears, and arguably your best offensive player, Amari Cooper, to the Dallas Cowboys, there's no doubt that there's an open competition at every other spot. About the only guy who may be safe, the quarterback, Derek Carr. A lot of building will have to occur around him.
And Cook has it, left side. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Shotgun now for Carr. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but They took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use Fortnite.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
And this one is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it can be. They're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
To throw is Keenum. He'll buy some time right. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Carr gives to Rashard. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Running, but it only gets him to the 45. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
They'll run it. Here's Martin. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up. Near midfield.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st down, Carr. And complete, right side to Cook. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Oakland after this.
Get down! 180!
From the gun, it's Carr. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
false start offense.
That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And his throw here is incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Denver getting the football back here, and this is a Broncos team, Charles, that is on the cusp of back-to-back losing seasons for the first time since 1971-72. That's hard to believe.
Yeah, it is hard to believe because when you think about this league, you think about consistent play. Denver is one of those programs. That's what you get. But they do have a ton of rookies making a big impact, so the future should be pretty bright. Bradley Chubb, you expected that out of him. Deshaun Hamilton, Cortland Sutton on offense. But how about Phillip Lindsay? Undrafted, but now everyone.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the All-Pro, Navarro Bowman. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here's Carr. And Nelson's got it here right side. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Carr now on first down. His throw incomplete. Dwayne Harris the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And he's got it. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jordy Nelson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital. It's definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Eli Manning, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Next, we'll stay in the AFC South as we fly through Kentucky and on down to Nashville to check on the Tennessee Titans. And they were losers in their ball game as they fall to the visiting Washington Redskins. Colt McCoy, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Finally, let's get over to Carson. See what's happening with the Chargers at home at the StubHub Center. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A gain of 6 there on first.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Keenum. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That one goes for 24 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurate when he throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 3rd down, that's Lindsey. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player, and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. They go play action here on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Andre Holmes, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are in for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And our focus now moves to Jordy Nelson. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, or former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown.
Yes.
You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off, so you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of plays. So let's make sure that we don't let him get going again. You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Carr now on 1st down. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Derek Wolfe in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Operating from the gun. Carr. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it's 3rd down.
Put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. He gets this one to Dwayne Harris. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah,
Still 4th
offsides,
down.
easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Out of the gun, Keenum. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton, complete. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. And on the ground they go with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. On 3rd down, it's Lindsey. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Keenum's going to throw it here. Stepping up, he's going to keep it and avoids the contact by sliding. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So offensively on this drive, 2 of 2 on 3rd downs, and now they face a 3rd and inches. To his knee goes Keenum, and that should be the ball game. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh. Relief, finally got a win, needed one desperately.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left half, should be a fairly easy one here. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Broncos, their hopes of a 500 season stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for Oakland, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.